And what's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode and another week of the What the Puck podcast. I'm Nick. He's Gunk. Gunk, how you doing this week, brother?
We're doing all right here. We're getting ready for the dog days of the hockey season right now. We're 50, about 49, 48 games in. It's really like I say, like the dog days. It was not even me that brought that. It was Ken Danico that brought up. These are the dog days of hockey. This is where the big stretch where you got to get points, you got to stay in contention, and it's basically to decide who's in and who's out right now. So this is a big time of year, right around the All-Star break. Big time part of the year for a lot of these teams.
Yeah, well, from the dog days to being dog walked, I felt slighted having to stay up until 1 o'clock this morning to watch this fucking hockey team. Oh my god. I don't know what happened. What's going on? I'm asking you, but like
Mm-hmm.
what's going on with this fucking team? I genuinely do not understand what's going on, and it's getting worse and worse every fucking game now. You get a 3 out of a possible 8 points on this past road trip that you shouldn't have even gotten. You
Right.
the I saw a lot of Rangers fans saying that the game in Anaheim was a fluke, and honestly, it was. It was. You went down 2-0 fast, and like to somebody that you don't want to score against. Rangers fans don't want to see Adam Henrique score against
Oh,
them,
I was
and they don't want
very
to see
excited.
two.
I saw that and I was very excited when I saw he had put up a couple goals. I was like, oh, at least he's doing it to use his time, not us. Like the freaking hat trick thing at the Prudential Center that a couple months ago.
Like that's what I was nervous about. I didn't want that, but like I I felt like I was gonna combust during that third period.
I don't blame you.
And now I'm talking about last night. You can't even keep a lead against the fucking Sharks.
Up 2-0
You're
in the
yeah,
third.
exactly. You're up 2-0 in the third, and like I woke up pissed off still because it bothered me that much, and like what genuinely didn't make sense, and I saw a lot of other people on Twitter talking about it. Laviolette has no idea what he's doing in terms of tempo of the game and how to control the game.
Right.
You call a timeout after that second goal. You let it up, and it's the first real goal that Igor gave up that last night, because the first one was just as bad, not his fault. Gustafson just
No.
threw it to fucking nobody. That's what I like. That's what I'm trying to understand about this team. And like some people may call it an overreaction, but like I don't care. Who the
No.
fuck are you throwing that puck to? There's nobody
Men-
there.
mental mistakes there. You could tell even just watching the highlights, you could tell the mental mistakes the team is breaking down now. And this was not happening early in the season, and now it should be a big concern to Rangers fans. Seriously.
Yeah, no, it's genuinely concerning because like this isn't the team we were watching a couple weeks ago. Like a couple weeks ago, like maybe a month ago. This wasn't the same fucking team.
No,
Outside of
absolutely not.
January, this team was fantastic.
Listen, I had them going, looking for a President's Trophy this year. I mean, and they have just
They're lucky
crashed
to
and
be
burned.
first in the Metro. The only reason
Yeah,
why the Rangers are first in the Metro still is because Philly and Carolina still managed to keep losing.
right.
It's ridiculous. That game last night is inexcusable to lose. You
No,
I shouldn't have to go in as a Rangers fan looking at a game and being like, "Oh, okay, cool. Easy 2 points." And then just going, "All right, I guess a point it's going to be nice." And that's what happened last night. A point was
right.
fine, but it shouldn't be, "Oh, well a point is fine." I need more than a point,
No, absolutely.
especially against fucking team 32 of 32.
I agree. Hey, at least you guys lost in overtime. We took the L right at home, from San Jose. So I can understand the frustration these Rangers fans are having right now. I mean, it makes me feel good, but
And I
but
I'm
we
not
have our own problems to
I'm
go
not
deal with
one to
too.
bet. I'm not one to do sports betting and stuff like that, but I think
Oh,
I got to start every time I see a former Ranger playing against the Rangers. Ryan Carpenter, with his during his time with the Rangers, I don't believe scored a single goal with them. Not a single one. He has 3 goals this year. 2 of them are against the fucking Rangers. uh,
Some people are just killers for certain teams.
I can't understand that. I gotta see if Ryan Carpenter's even scored a goal for the Rangers. If he ever scored a goal for the Rangers, I don't think he did.
Let's see.
He had one goal with the Rangers.
Oh my God. He scored
One
two.
goal. One goal with the Rangers, but 21 with Hartford. So he did a lot in the AHL. Thanks.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Number 8, AHL star, baby.
Yeah. But even going back to even like what I was talking about before, looking at the Anaheim game, you you didn't do much besides prove that you were able to beat a team that you were supposed to beat. You Yeah, good for you. You made the comeback, but you shouldn't have had to come back. It was a 5-2 game. Like, you had to score 5 goals to be able to win. You shouldn't, like, granted, you should be scoring that many goals against Anaheim, but, like, it shouldn't come in that fashion to where you need to get it desperately.
No, absolutely not.
Like, your goals should be coming in droves at this point, and not a single thing has proven to me that they have that. And I keep saying, week in and week out, the Blake Wheeler experiment needs to end. I'm fine with Wheeler. He's looked good enough with Cooley to stay fourth line, I guess, third line if you need him to. But like, Barclay fucking Goodrow needs to kick rocks and get sent into the sun. I do not understand what his purpose is on this team for $3.6 million, and we signed him for his entire fucking life. I watched multiple opportunities where it was granted I'm not built for the NHL. I'm not an NHL caliber player. I'm not even fit. My shape is kind of round.
We got great shape. We're round.
But I was watching him. I was watching him play last night. And there was just some opportunities I saw him have. He had nice, clean opportunities. Just missed the net. Hit the side of the net. Gets blocked. You're not serving a purpose beside you're a cardio merchant. You're skating around every game just trying to figure out what you're doing, and you're basically working out for fucking 15 minutes. You don't even deserve 15. You deserve fucking 2. You deserve to sit in the press box.
Exactly. Scratch his ass.
Yeah. That's what the Rangers need to do. They need to start scratching people and sending messages to people and being like, listen, if you're going to fucking play like this, you're not going to be playing.
Absolutely. I'm right behind you there. Like I said, unfortunately, with the Devs right now, we can't scratch anybody because we have nobody. But the Rangers, they have decent enough players, and if this player is not doing it, gotta get him out. And there's a couple of them that need just a night off. Maybe send a message. That's what these Rangers fans are looking for. They want these teams to send a message, and they're not sending the message because again, either they don't have anybody or people are hurt.
Yeah, I see a lot of Rangers fans saying that the message needs to be a trade. You can't yet. I genuinely don't believe you can yet.
Right.
Because as annoying as it is to say you have to wait until Hedl comes back or has an idea of when he's coming back because he came back to New York to start training.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Yep.
There's still no timetable for his return yet. So, like, yeah, he's back, but, like, you had the opportunity to do so much with his money. Mm-hmm. And even if there's no salary cap in the playoffs.
Right.
Bring the guys down to the AHL that you signed with Hedl's money. Bring Hedl back. And then if you need guys for the playoffs, you have those quality guys that you signed to rental contracts, basically league minimum contracts.
Right.
To just use if you fall into the same issues that you're falling into now, but you now have players that are readily available that know what they're doing.
That are solid on the ice, that will contribute. Not saying they're going to be all stars, but they're going to contribute.
I don't need all stars. I just need I need more than just a goal from the second line every fucking game.
You need grit. That's what it is. You need some grit especially on the bottom. You need that grit, and you're again They're not providing it for you. And like you said, with the money and stuff, I have the same situation on this side with Hamilton's contract. Hamilton's contract has been sitting there. We haven't put him on long-term IR yet. Well, we can't use that money yet. So hopefully, with Fitz coming, getting his stuff situated because he got extended yesterday. But like I said, you know, put that money away, and we're gonna need it for this stretch run because again, you can go from second to seventh in 2 to 3 games. If you play 2-3 bad games, you are plummeting, especially if the teams ahead of you are winning. I mean, it's great for fans because we have great discussions about this, but again, there's no really super team out there. You know, this is up for grabs for the whole year. All these teams except for really the bottom, say like a Ottawa or a Montreal. Even a Montreal's coming. I mean, we got beat by Montreal the other day, and I was telling you on the podcast last week. I was like, this is the season right here, and they came out and laid an egg again. Frustrating again, like you with the Rangers guys. It is frustrating as hell right now to be, especially in this metro area. It's hard to be a fan because. Yeah. You're like all the teams. I mean, the Rangers have a little advantage still being in first place, still having a few point
barely
cushion there. But again, if they keep on this streak, they're not gonna have this cushion anymore, and they're gonna be in that dogfight with the Devils, with Philadelphia, with Carolina, with all these other teams in the Metro. Like I said, they need to shake it up because they were the ones that were coming out. They came out of the box. They got there. They got to the first in the Metro, and they gotta find something. I mean, again, like you said, it's gotta come from somewhere. And like I said, with Cheeto coming back, like I said, fingers crossed that he comes back and he's healthy. I mean, like I said, the injury was terrible. We talked about it a few weeks ago how terrible the injury was to him. And again, I like healthy hockey players. It doesn't matter if it's my team, your team, anybody's team. Especially if they're injured like that. I mean, it would just give a boost to the team to get him back any point of the season.
Yeah, because not even so much for his play. Don't get me wrong. Granted, he's a fantastic hockey player. Filipino, I love Hito with more than anything. But he brings personality. He brings a livelihood to the room that it just doesn't seem to have.
Right, locker room. And maybe in the end, maybe they brought him back. You know, maybe he can't play, but maybe if he gets in that locker room with the guys,
yeah, just be with the boys.
Kind of motivate them to get this on the right track again.
I totally agree, but let's shift over to looking at the Devils. I saw a mock trade on Instagram recently that I kind of wanted to bring up to you. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
Okay, go for it.
We were talking last week about potentially trading Holtz.
Okay.
The Devils would give up.
Has turned Devils fans into Holtz has become the hero of this team because everyone is with Holtz and everyone's against Ruff. It's right now. It's if you look at every Devils board on Facebook, it's keep Holtz, get rid of Ruff, and neither one of them are going right now. Holtz might be the one out. If you were watching the Vegas game on Monday. Every time Holtz got the puck, there was cheers. That place went crazy for Holtz. I don't know, just because he's young and they see the potential, and Ruff is not seeing the potential, or he's making mistakes where a lot of fans don't know like the ins and outs really of hockey. They just see goals and assists, you know, and they don't see they don't watch every play that he makes. You know, he might be making mistakes here and there, but yeah, Holtz has become a fan favorite here on this side of the river, man. It's like, but anyway, so what are we looking for Holtz? Because again, I don't want to trade him unless I'm getting something like super quality back for him.
Oh, I don't know. It's Holtz, VTech, and a 2025 second rounder to the Anaheim Ducks.
Okay.
For John Gibson at 25% retained. Okay. And Rico at 50% retained.
Oh, you know.
Do you do a reunion and John Gibson?
God, and you know what? I did see that on one of our Instagram posts that what the puck pod as we look through, we scroll through a lot of the days we trying to find hockey news. I did see that potential trade, and for Devils fan, for me, I kind of like that trade. I mean, you're getting a solid goaltender, which you desperately need. You're getting another spark plug in Adam Henrique. You're getting a spark plug that's gonna be good. A bottom six guy who has been here before, knows the Devils organization, knows what they need in the organization, and I think it would help out dramatically. Yes, you're going to lose a Holtz again. Vanacek is just basically a throw-in for that trade. I mean, basically it's money for Vanacek because he's going to kick his salary over to Anaheim, and if we can get for like I said for the 25% discount and the 50% discount, I think I'd make that trade. I mean, you're gonna lose a Holtz. I mean, again, he's still young. He's still up in the air. If you think you're gonna go for it this year. Go for it even next year. And if you have both of them on your roster next year, with all the injuries, with everyone coming back next year, and like I said, that's the one thing with Devils fans. We are not in a spot where we can win a cup this year. It's not happening. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we make the playoffs. That'd be wonderful. Give them more. It would give the Devils more time in a playoff situation to build that confidence up in a playoff scenario. As a team, get them built up. But they're not unless something weird happens. They're not in contention this year. I'm sorry, Devils fans. We're not in contention. We're in playoff contention. Let's try to get into the tournament. That's the biggest thing right now is getting into the tournament. And if we could do that, then we'll see where it goes. But for right now, if you pick those two up and you can get into the playoffs, make a little run, you're setting it up. You're setting it up as the young kids get another year older. You got a good solid goalie sitting there in Gibson, and you bring Rico back again, bottom again, and especially with the story that has been breaking today, you bring in a solid quality locker room guy to help gel this team back together because
Yep.
that's what it seems like they need. It seems like they need a spark plug to get this team back together. And like I said, Toffoli did wonderful with his hat trick against Vegas the other day. Like I said, that game against Vegas was another one of those great games. It was an up down, which is the Devils' whole season. It's just been a whole thing of ups and a whole thing of downs. And right now, that's what they are. They're a middle of the road team right now. They're not a Stanley Cup contender. And feel like again, this trade would help the team. Yes, you lose Holtz, but again, you're gaining experience. You're gaining just locker room camaraderie, and that's what Henry would bring to this team right now, and that's what they need desperately going into this All-Star break.
Yeah, especially with the way the Devils locker room may be with Mikey McLeod and Foot asking for leaves of absences from the team.
Yeah,
But
like I said, that just happened this morning. So, like I said, we don't want to get into it because again, it's just
yeah,
right now it's we don't have the whole story yet. So, like I said, we don't want to get into it. We're not a podcast that's gonna string out stuff and bring up bad stuff. We until we get an official thing from anybody, from the NHL, from whatever's going on from Team Canada. Right now, let's settle down. They took their leave of absence. We understand the situation, and let's let it play out. Luckily, like I said, Palat came back today from injury. He's back in the lineup, so that should help a little bit. Going into the game against Carolina tomorrow night. Said hopefully, this is not a distraction for the team, and let's see where we go from here.
Yeah, you had mentioned Team Canada, but we honestly don't even know what it could be.
Right.
So
It could be anything. But like I said, right now speculation is that. But like I said, I don't want to get into the details of it and all that kind of garbage and stuff. All right, right now, they're both on a leave. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
and then like I said, we're gonna have to juggle our lineup a little bit again. So let's see what happens with that situation. But again, super excited about the game on Monday against Vegas. I mean, like I said, that was big time. They needed that win again, especially after the beatdown they took against Dallas on Saturday. That was embarrassing to watch. I mean, it was just, I don't know what happened in that second period. They just lost it. They played a good first period, They were down 1-0. They were playing solid. They got on the power play, and then, like I said, the Hintz goal just killed all that shorthanded goal killed all the momentum in that building, and then they just took it to us. Dallas just took it, and on the Sergey Brilliant night, which was extra embarrassing to watch because he was what we were talking about a few minutes ago, a solid locker room guy who will score a goal when you need that goal. He was always there in a playoff situation to score that big goal when they needed it. Yes, he wasn't a Brodeur, he wasn't a Stevens, he wasn't a Niedermeyer, but he was a solid player for those 3 Stanley Cup teams, and he was one of my favorite players as a kid. And like I said, you honor him, and then you come out with that effort. That's disgusting, and it drove me effing nuts on Saturday to watch that and see what, like, that's what you're gonna bring for one of your assistant coaches who you always say you love. You know he's the greatest thing. That's the way a player should be, and then you come out and give that kind of garbage effort. I mean, right there. Like I said, they're lucky they won that Vegas game, because right now, if they lost that Vegas game the way they were playing, this would have been a whole different rant, because I would have went off. Because again, it just looks like it's not performance. It's heart and determination, and you can see it on the ice. They just don't have it. It seems like every pass goes back to the defense. It's the same damn play every time. Go make a rush, go in. They lose the puck, they go back on defense, or they lose the puck going in, and they're down, and they're 3-2 going the other way, 2-1 going the other way. Like I said, yes, we need Jack back, because he is the carrier of the puck, like, especially on a power play. He's the one bringing the puck into the zone most times, and like I said, they just, I don't know. Like I said, they need a good streak right now. Like I said, right now, I said they lost. They're losing to teams that they shouldn't lose to. I mean, like I said, they lost to Montreal. They finally beat Columbus. Like, thank God they beat Columbus on Friday.
Yeah, you got a birthday win.
Yeah, I got a birthday win. Exactly. I was very happy about that. But yeah, and then again they come right out the next game and crap the bed at home against Dallas. I mean, like I said, it's really been an up and down season, which I didn't think it was gonna be. I thought it was, I thought they're gonna be, looking, 1-2 Metro, them Rangers, them Carolina, but they're fighting for a playoff. They're fighting for a wild card this year, and I'm okay with that. Like you said, if Fitz comes down, makes a couple of deals here, solidifies the goaltending, because that's what they need. I don't care what anybody says. And you heard in his press conference yesterday that he was not happy with the players. But he's also worried about the players in front of him, which is the defense, which is really depleted right now with Hamilton gone, with Siegenthaler gone. Now Brendan Smith is out with a leg injury. So, I mean, like I say, we're calling up AHLs, and now we even lost another one because we lost Foot.
Yeah.
He was playing well the last couple games. He was one of the, him and Ball together with the football was actually working. Yeah. Mr. Football, the football line, which I think is the greatest defensive fucking name ever. When I saw that on, again, of course I was already toked out. So of course when you see that coming up on the screen, it just makes you giggle like a little schoolgirl. But no, they played really well together. Those two played really well together, and like I said, losing Foot now, their defense is just depleted in front of them. So
they got a tough matchup coming up tomorrow.
Ooh, against Carolina.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
that's gonna be a rough game if they don't start off quick. What do they got to do?
And again, they're not a quick starting team, which they're always playing from behind. I think it's like 32 out of 47 games this year. They're down 1-0 in the game.
Shit.
It's especially at home when you got to get those fans going. 5 minutes into the game, you're down 1-0, and it just deflates that arena, because they all have seen this. It's the same script. They've seen it all year. They're down 1-0. They're down 2-0. They make a comeback. They get it to 2-2. They find a great, somebody on the third or fourth line will score, make it 3-2. They'll get the 4-2, and then third period they'll just lose it, and there'll be a 4-4 and a 5-4, 6. Yeah, it's.
Yep.
I recognize this, and I've come to the conclusion that yes, this is how this year is going. So kick back, relax. Let's see if they can make the comeback. And like I said, whew, it's been such an up and down year for the Devils. It boggles my brain, man. Last year was such a like
Fever dream.
yes, a fever dream. It was like, oh god, this is finally this team has come together. And
This feels right.
especially after the the 4 or 5 years of just terrible hockey that they were playing.
Mm.
It was like a spark. It was like a light at the end of the tunnel, and then this year's like the tunnel's starting to close on you already. And again, that's what Devils fans got to calm down with. They need to calm down.
Mm.
They're young. They won't be a cup contender this year. Just come to that fact. They're not a cup contender. They're in the playoff mix. If you can focus on that, then you can watch the games. If you think they're cup contenders and they go down 1-0 and you're ready to throw something through the TV, then you need to fucking see therapy or take a fucking Xanax or something, dude. Because it's like, dude, relax. It's only hockey. I know it's your team, but you got to read the script. Read the script. Write it down. You're down 1-0 in a game, 5 minutes in. Just take it to that fact.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I totally agree with you.
A long rant there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But let's switch over now from our necks of the woods over down to the island, because we had a little bit of news surrounding the fish sticks.
The fish sticks. It is Watt country now, baby.
Yeah, baby. They fire Lane Lambert, bring in Patrick Waugh. It's different, but I like it.
I like it. And again, it's kind of the thing that Lou does. I mean, he brings in Montreal-based like people. I mean, he brought in Jacques Lemaire when he was with the Devils. He brought in Jacques Lemaire, won a cup. He brought in Larry Robinson, who was one of their best defensive of all time, won a cup. They brought in Pat Burns, who was coached Toronto, coached up a couple of the. And again, now he's bringing in Patrick Waugh, who's another Montreal, connection. I mean, it's been working for him. So right now, like I said, does this make them a different team right now? Will Patrick Waugh aura and his fierce and intensity make this team more dangerous, going into, trade deadline time,
Absolutely.
playoff time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you even saw the videos from the Islanders' first practice with him, he was
Yes.
barking at the boys. And it was it was good to see a fire lit under them for a change. Because, like, the Islanders need a spark on their lineup in any kind of way, whether it be a lineup change or even a personnel change with the coach.
Right.
Lambert didn't have it. He coached a season and a half with the Islanders, 61, 46, and 20. What concerns me is the 20.
Right.
How do you lose 20 times in overtime? It shouldn't be like that. You should be winning all your games. Like, not winning all your games. You can't win every game.
No.
But like it would look so much better if it was 71, 46, and 10.
Right. No, exactly. No, it would be a totally different scenario right now.
Oh, of course.
Because you see the record and just go by the wins, and you're like, wow, why would they fire him for winning, 70 out of 100, 70 out of 100 and some games?
Yeah. Well, it's one playoff appearance, losing to Carolina last year, not being able to do anything with your leads this year. You're losing games in overtime consistently, which contributes to the 20.
Right.
But
which is what those points are keeping them in the playoff hunt.
Barely.
If they lose half those games that they're winning in overtime, or
they're down at the bottom.
They'd be down. And like I said, I like that he's coming in and bringing the heat to them, because that's what they need. And especially with all these overtime losses. I mean, you got Sorokin back. Sure.
Sorokin.
Here we go again.
Sorokin
back behind you, in a 3-on-3 scenario, you should not be losing those games. I mean, seriously.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, it's still early. It's still too early to tell with the Islanders. Right. But honestly, I feel that what
No, I was just going to bring up that old two story when when he was with Colorado, and we remember we got those great tickets. We were like what three,
Oh,
four,
we were like three, four
yeah,
rows behind the bench,
we
and
were,
it was
yep,
it was one of Waz's earlier seasons in Colorado.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it
I
was
remember that game. That was a great. That was a Devils lost 3-2 in overtime that game,
yes,
but that was a
yeah,
really good game, especially for
and,
back then with how bad the Avalanche were and
and
how bad the Devils were.
bad the Devils were.
Yeah,
Yep, absolutely. No, that was a again that was a great game. And like I said, we were getting. I was trying to get you to pose with him like as he was like behind the bench and shit. It was just a funny scenario because again, when you see you see I mean a massive Hall of Famer behind the bench, and you're like, oh my god, like I was, and as close as we were, I was like, oh my god, I want to just pound on the glass and be like, hey, can you like just turn around so we can get a picture and stuff, but
trade me, trade
Trevor,
me.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, it was one of those like, oh, although we didn't bring a sign like most of the kids do, can I have
Oh,
a puck,
I'm not
please?
gonna. I'm not gonna bring a sign.
Bring a big sign.
I'll
I'm a,
trade you a puck for a Nutrigrain bar, please. Fuck
or
out of
what,
here.
or even the ones that the kids are like, I'll try if I don't know, it's not like oh if I'll do something if you can give me a puck or something. It's like dude, stop begging. They'll
Yeah,
give it
stop.
to you, man. Look at they're always giving out the kids
They
and stuff.
yeah,
I
they
mean, come
always
on
want to
now.
give pucks to kiddos, and I love that. Like they
I
should, but
love that.
like if it's like oh I'll do a TikTok for you right here right now for a puck, and it's just like all right,
Yeah,
kid, kick rocks. Like
exactly. You got like the kid's got like 10 followers from like 9 kids in his school and his teacher, and like oh I'll do a TikTok like it's gonna go trend somewhere you know. Although I think Evan Rodriguez always tries to shoot it into the camera holes, which
yeah,
I think is pretty funny.
that
Yeah,
yeah no
I always see the
that's all
videos
right.
of him doing it. Good guy,
Oh, great guy.
great guy.
But another great guy that's being recognized next year by San Jose, Jumbo
Right.
Joe, is getting his number retired, which is absolutely deserved and
Oh, absolutely.
should be an amazing night for him, honestly.
Um,
He's one of the best players I've ever watched play hockey.
yeah.
So to see him get recognized and get his number retired after a couple of years of being retired is perfect for him and the
No,
Sharks
absolutely.
organization.
No, congratulations to him because again he kind of gets lost now because of where when he played because he was a great player for San Jose and for Boston. He played great for Boston too, and like I said, he was in the era of Sidney and Ovechkin, which kind of overshadowed him as being one of I would say that he would be right on that next level below those two, like as far as that era of hockey is concerned. Like he's at that like second level of that, and his 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 retirement of his number is totally deserved. And like I said, kudos to San Jose for doing that, especially as right now the team needs something being so bad right now. So that kind of boosts again hockey players feed off that kind of stuff, which is why we go back to Saturday. It was like, how do you put out that effort when it's one of your assistant coaches' night to be get in the Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Trust me, when San Jose plays this game next year, I guarantee they'll be better and they'll put 120% into making that night special for him. Which again, good for him. I said Jumbo, God bless.
Yeah,
Said
absolutely.
very 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 good player
Yeah,
and well deserved.
yeah. Art Ross winner, Hart Trophy winner,
Yep.
80th on all time career goals. I mean,
Yep. Like I said,
fantastic.
no, he again, right? Like I said, right, that second level, right below the Ovechkin and Crosby era.
Yeah,
I would say, right in that level.
absolutely. But yeah, congrats to Joe. Congrats to
Yeah.
Joe. Congrats to his family. Hopefully we can see next year's game, and hopefully everything is. I keep saying hopefully, but hopefully it's all good,
Yes.
and we'll see what happens next year with that game. And
Yeah.
let's bring it over to another Western Conference team now. The Chicago Blackhawks yesterday signed goaltender Peter Mrazek to a 2-year contract, 4.25 million per year.
Yep.
Uh, Honestly, it didn't surprise me that they signed Mrazek to this contract. I mean, I don't think it's a bad deal per se,
Right.
but I mean, it helps you get through some more of the rebuild on a consistent foundation for
Right.
your goaltending. It's not the best. Like obviously it's not the best, but it's okay.
Okay.
I don't even know
Well,
who. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just thinking. I'm thinking, again, he was very in, in the rumor mill for a trade, especially you said with one of the teams that need goalies right now. So you think this deal will help him if they do want to, they make the contract, they signs the contract, and then maybe try to get something for him back now that he has a solid contract. He has 2 years on this deal. It's at 4 million, which is lower than most of the higher end goaltenders are. I mean, do you make a run at him now that you have him for at least 2 years going down the road?
Uh, Not necessarily. I personally wouldn't.
Okay.
There hasn't been much to Peter Mrazek in his game recently that I would find desirable to want to have on for 2 years, unless I am the Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now Mrazek is 31,
31.
so it's gonna take him to 33. He's starting to get up there. At that point, he's played almost 400 games in the NHL, so like he's getting up there in terms of like his career.
Right.
So I think at that point he kind of reevaluates what he wants to do career wise rather than hoping that a team jumps on him now that he has his contract, or even Chicago hoping that a team jumps
Yeah.
at it. So it really just I feel it depends on what a team may need. Like if they desperately need a backup goaltender that they want to lock down, I guess you go for Mrazek. But
Right.
honestly, I think it's more so just Chicago needed to make sure that they have some kind of goaltending in place for the future. And if they need to use him as a trade piece later in the future, I guess you can, but it doesn't really make sense to right now, especially with where they're at in the season.
They said in Chicago it's their third signing in 2 weeks. I mean, they signed for Gino for 2 years 9 million, and they signed Dickinson for a 2 year 8.5 million. So I said maybe they're just getting locking down players now just to keep the team going, keep the locker room in its position. Again, it's a good deal. I mean, 4 million for a year for a goalie. That is not is right in the right in the middle of the pack. I mean, not it's not a bad deal, but again with them we'll see what happens because again they're not in playoff contention. And again everyone's looking for goaltending right now, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of calls going to Chicago. As the trade deadline comes up, looking maybe to make a deal for Mrazek. But again, we'll see how that happens. As we go down the road here. The next couple months.
Yeah, absolutely. But from a Chicago Blackhawks team that is signing players to a former Chicago Blackhawk that just signed somewhere else, Corey Perry is playing
Ah,
hockey in the NHL again.
yes.
Signed a league minimum contract for 1 year with the Edmonton Oilers.
Cool.
Woo hoo, I guess. He's gonna.
Especially because they're on the heater that they are. I mean,
Yeah,
they won their 14th straight last night. I
yeah.
mean,
Now he gets to fuck McDavid's mom.
oh, we don't
Oh,
say
what do
the
you
time.
mean? What do you mean? What do you
We
mean?
don't say the kind of stuff.
He's got thing for guys named Connor. What do you mean? I don't want to hear this whoa shit. What do you mean?
Whoa.
Oh, come on. Oh, get out of here with you. Come on.
Oh,
I don't want to hear that.
it
We're
was a little
joking. We're joking.
We're joking
We're
here.
vamping. We come out. We're running out of time and topics.
Hey,
But no, yeah, 1 year, $775,000.
lock your mom up. Here comes Corey.
Hide, hide your kids, hide your wives, boys, because Corey
That's it.
Perry's coming to town.
He's got the booze. He's got the drink, and he's going for mamas.
So, allegedly,
A milf hunter, baby.
allegedly,
Allegedly.
um, the reason that Corey Perry was cut by the Blackhawks is
Allegedly.
because allegedly, yes, allegedly,
Let's
it's gonna be
let's
the
throw these
episode
allegedly.
title at this point.
Yeah,
Allegedly,
we don't make any money on this podcast. We don't want to get sued, just in case they ever hear this. You know, because you never know what can go viral in this fucking world and nowadays.
and they said that he got too drunk at a team function or after a game and made a pass at an NBC employee. So like, I don't fucking know, but I guess that's the
Again,
story.
but again, in this kind of world, you gotta
You
watch.
never know,
Especially with women, you gotta watch what you do. You know,
especially with
you always
anybody
gotta,
at this point
yeah, you just gotta be respectful, and you gotta, especially as a professional
of
player
anything.
in any sport. Yeah, you just you got to keep your p's and q's together. Especially when you're in public, you got to keep your p's and q's together. I mean, like I said, the Devils just had their curling event a couple days
They're
ago.
what?
And they had a curling event. I think it was called curling and cards. It was they made they made curling rinks on at the Prudential Center, and then they had like a section for like casino kind of stuff, cards, roulette, stuff like that. I think if you go on like the Devils Twitter or their Instagram, you could see. I think Timo was making like drinks and shit. It was like
The Devils
I know
sweep
Dawson
the
Mercer
deck gala. What the?
yeah, sweep the deck gala. That's what it was called.
Oh,
They
I
said
would
you
have
sweep
went to this. I'm not a
No,
Devils
you
fan
would
of this.
no. Trust me. I looked at tickets, $500 just to get in the damn door. Yeah, it was. Trust me, if it was cheap, I would have been there because that's an event I would have loved to have been to. But yeah, I think that the minimum was 500, and then they had like experiences for like to
$1
hang
billion.
out with players. Yeah, for like 1,500. It was like I can't afford that kind of stuff. I can barely go to a game this year, so
just go to a casino
like
myself.
I pulled those Stadium Series tickets out of my booty, before all my shit happened. So luckily, I locked that down before anything, any of the bullshit that's been going on. So sweep the deck.
That's a good campaign to be running down there.
But I said my point of the story was you didn't hear any stories about anybody getting wasted at an event and trying to hit on somebody. So
just be kind to people.
Just be kind. That's it.
Just be
cool,
kind.
man.
But what isn't kind is the fact that the Oilers are on a 14-game winning streak now after a 4-1 win last night against Columbus.
And any talk of Merzlikins coming to the Devils, please no. I've seen him play the Devils. He was terrible. I was watching the highlights from last night. He flops around more than Vanacek. Devils fans would kill him.
Yeah, but like.
So, yeah,
But I feel like Devils fans would lean into like the whole like Elvis part of it.
Dude, don't get me started with that. I thought of that, and I was like, that made me like. It was one of those like physically ill moments. I was like, oh yeah, the Devils would do. They would be the ones again. They're the ones that brought out the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for $12 at Prudential Center because Jack had said, "Oh, me and Brady are like peanut butter and jelly."
Yeah.
So they jumped on that real quick. You sign Merzlikins or get Merzlikins, there's a peanut butter and banana sandwich coming to Prudential Center. I mean,
for $25,000, yeah. $25,000 dead on the toilet, yeah.
$80 for a fucking sandwich, so But yeah, as I said, I watched the highlights last night, and he was every goal he was just either out of position, flopping around. The one he literally fell into the net because his teammate bumped the guy into him, and he just fell into the net like an idiot. So, yeah, you can keep Elvis out of our building, please. Thank you very much.
But yeah, the Oilers. It feels almost disrespectful to see how good they're doing.
Right.
Because like, all you did was change your coach, and now your goaltender's making saves, and you have the best player in the world is playing like the best player in the world. I genuinely don't understand this.
Again, and that's a lot of sports too. Sometimes a coaching change would just change the perception of the whole team. I mean, you bring in a fresh voice. Maybe with Jay Crawford, they just weren't listening to him anymore. Now you bring in a head coach who, again, doesn't have the NHL experience, but has a lot of AHL experience, is very respected in the league. You bring him in, you start listening, and stuff starts to roll, and it just builds up that confidence in the room. It's one of those things that sometimes a coaching change is the best thing to do, which, again, a lot of Devils fans are like that. They want to get rid of Ruff. But, again, who are you bringing in to replace him? That's the question. And if you do bring in somebody, who's gonna get the ears of that team? For me, as we were just talking about, the guy we just honored, Sergei Brylin, has no NHL head coaching experience, but I feel if they were going to make a change, that's who they would go to, because he has everyone's ear in that room.
Bring in Woodcroft. Bring in the guy that Edmonton fired.
No, thank you. No, I'm good with that.
No, he's a good coach.
No, he is a good coach, but again, I would want somebody, if they go and do what every Devils fan basically wants them to do and get rid of Ruff. I want to go internal. I don't want Travis Green. I don't want McGill. Definitely want Robisky as the goaltending coach. Definitely not. So, like I said, Breland, again, has worked his butt off to make it as an assistant coach in NHL, and I feel like a young coach, young team, I think it would work out fantastically. But again, I'm just a dumb fucking fan sitting here, so it's all good.
Yeah, what do we know?
I'm just sitting here spewing my mouth on a fucking video, so it's all good.
Do you feel that Edmonton's success recently has something to do with their schedule? Because they've had a lot of easy game, like, I don't want to say easy games. Not every game is easy, but like a lot of easy opponents.
You know what it is? I think it's more if they're playing the lower teams right now. So yeah, you're gonna build it up. But again, they have some quality wins in there too. I mean,
that's fair.
But that's the thing. If you're a good team like that again was a Stanley Cup contender going into the season, you have to beat bad teams. You can't lose to the bad teams. You gotta, and now they're putting it together. They're beating the bad teams and it's not even contest. It's not even like you're sweating it anymore. It's like they're winning 4-1, 5-1, 6-2. They're winning these games like that, and the goaltending has finally come around. Skinner has played really well, and again, sometimes that's all you need. You get your goaltender going, get them hot, and you have the scoring to do it. I mean, you have the players to do it. So, like I said, they went from literally almost last in the West to they're up to third in their division. So, like I said, they're gonna be formidable coming in. Going into the later part of this year, and they're in it again. You got to give it to them. They are back. The Oilers are back, and let's see what happens, coming up on the trade deadline and going into the last half of the season coming up.
Yep, they'll pick it back up against tomorrow. We're all picking it up against tomorrow. But they're picking it up tomorrow against Chicago again at home. Yep. But I think that we're going to drop this episode off here at the station now, gang. We had a pleasure talking to everybody this week. It has been great. We'll hope to get this episode up to you as fast as possible. And we'll talk to you next week, gang. We love yous.
We love you. Peace.
Peace, boys.
Peace, love, and hockey, baby.
Yes, sir. You heard it. Later, boys. We love you. Check us out everywhere. Later.